Hi guys, this is Sidney. So in this video today, I'm going to share some messages that came for me to share at this time from Source, from Gaia, for the collective. So as always, tune in with your intuition and discern for yourself whether this message or a particular message throughout the video may be for you. If it's for you, you will find it be drawn to it, resonate, even though you may not understand, or you see some recognition or signs or something like that, and that you have no resistance, no reactions. So that's one way to discern, okay? So always tune in with your heart and use this as a training as well that could help you in the future or your everyday life, okay? So I'm getting the sense that there may be a specific message that could be for Lightworkers, New Earth Leaders, Divine Feminine Risings, Earth Angels, however you resonate with these terms at this time. And what I'm getting is if you resonate with that specific message, if that comes through, you will already know these terms and what these terms means and what they represent at this time that we use as human communication convenience. These these are all in a way labels, right? Lightworkers, starseeds, or all of this. So you will recognize and you will know this already. So it may not be for anyone who's like, what is Lightworker? Like, it may not be for you then. Okay, so that is what is coming up and what I'm guided to share at this time. So a few days ago in my dream time, I saw this rainbow, and that rainbow, like after that I saw the image of 10 of Cups and traditional tarot where you see the rainbow is very prominent, I would say. And then in my dream time, I was processing this, so that's how it works for me. Like, my subconscious is always processing something in my dream time. And so I saw that, and then immediately I thought of, okay, it's 10-10. And I saw like crown chakra getting really activated. And then what I received was every soul in the collective around this time, in April, what we had been doing after the lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse, and the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that I just explained in my latest video about the expansion of light that took place that I experienced. What happened was, since that point, we were doing a lot of intense shadow work, as I repeatedly mentioned, since last year, early the first quarter of this year. And then now, in my dream time, what I saw is on a soul level. So you may not recognize this on a conscious or level, or that you may be aware, but on a soul level, everyone is deciding right now which way to head. So meaning, are you going to join the new earth, or are you going to stay in the old earth? And what I got was, as I was meditating with this after I woke up, this will have no effect on their everyday life, in their physical reality. And even though you choose to, okay, I'm going to choose on a soul level that I'll stay with the old earth, on a awareness level, on a conscious level, you're not going to be like, oh my God, like I'm in a worse place, or I'm falling behind, or I'm not moving ahead. I didn't make it to New Earth. That was the message that came in very strongly. because it had also shown me to share this, like my experience of this when I just started to wake up in 2018. At the end of 2018, I started to receive all this information by my spirit team. And I think around early 2019 or something like that, I was like, this earth is not that bad. You know, the life that we are having here on earth, you know, where we can travel, or where we could, you know, buy the things, you know, that we need to buy, like fairly, I would say, conveniently, especially like, at least in Korea, you know, and what I grew up with in this lifetime, like, it is not too bad. But what's to change? What, you know, like, they say this is going to be beautiful earth, new earth, and it's going to be very different. And in my mind, I thought, well, this is not too bad. But now I see why I had that thought. Because it was like this: when you are used to a certain environment, you think that it's not too bad. And as I was raising my vibration, as I was going through my healing one by one, you start to recognize, because perception is governed by the belief system. So basically, what you believe in controls your perception. So that's why, for example, like, I tried to explain what's going on to, you know, during COVID, I received the information from my spirit team. This is just part of this and all this fear. And so I was trying to share this information, and you don't need to worry about, like, the you know, the shots and everything, right? And that you don't need to have it and all of that. But then, like, people around me, immediate family members, close friends, relatives, I soon realized they're not in that perception, and it's not my job to try to convince them. Or I was trying to help them in a way, like try to save them, because, you know, in my level of consciousness or perception, I knew what was inside that medicine, or, you know, that thing that we are getting. And it's all chemicals, and a lot of experiments are involved. And so, like, something like that. So everyone's perception is different, because they may be very much governed by this idea of duality, or meaning what is supposed to, meaning it is supposed to be good, it is supposed to be bad. So let's say if that's settled in their subconscious belief system, when someone says, you know, but it's this and this and this, like, they're not going to be open to that new information. And so they will react to it. It's like, what are you talking about? This is about someone's health. And you can just say this to blah, blah, blah. Or they just ignore, or they get pissed off, or they will have strong reactions, like, or opinions that is in opposition to that, or something like that. Because on a subconscious level, that thing is triggering the fear inside of them, that is in the duality consciousness already of separation, on a very unconscious, like, really, really, really deeper level that may not be aware. And then it's making them react. Okay? So just like that, as the souls choose different paths, they're not going to recognize on a conscious level, like, you know, I'm being left behind in the old earth, or I'm moving ahead. It's only the souls who are choosing to go into that path of the new earth, meaning they've been preparing for the past 2 years, is what I'm getting. So 2023, 2022, even 2021, a lot of souls in the collective, especially starseeds, were given this chance to go into their shadow aspect. So they started to have depressions or sudden anxiety issues or issues at work. They were highly stressed at work or relationships or something like that that made them really like break down so that they could break through in a way. So that was happening around 2021, I would say, towards the end of 2021. And then they had this window period where they, they would perhaps, okay, I'm going to really review my life, or, the patterns that I've been doing, or emotional health, or mental health, or physical health, or something like that, okay? And now, as the frequency is rising and the light is expanding so much, so quickly, the gap of the level of consciousness is widening a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And that's how we are separating, or the new earth and old earth is like completely moving apart. But because of that gap between the level of consciousness and the level of perception that is affected by it, and the belief systems, now we are just starting to, okay, like on a soul level, it's like what is coming to me is everybody knows when they're going to die on a soul level, for example. So before their death, like on a soul level, they decide, okay, it's my time to go, okay, I want to go, or something like that. And something happens, or they just take off, like they die during sleep, or they get sick all of a sudden before they were as like relatively healthy, like they were 90 or something, 80, something like that. And then all of a sudden, so these things happen on a physical level, like on a conscious level, but soul already decided on a subconscious level. This is coming as an analogy to help you understand this process that is taking place right now. So every soul decides. And the specific message for star seeds, there are light workers, earth angels, the new earth leaders, divine feminine risings. This particular group, if you are in a profession of helping people or helping other people or consulting them, coaching them with energy work, or with your experience, with your gifts, something that I'm guided to remind you is that it is not your job or our job to try to save someone, because every soul decides. Because the more we try to save someone, especially we tend to do that with our close friends or loved ones like family members, because you perhaps may perceive more in a different light and more expanded way, but they may see just one or two, or three fixated perspective, and you try to help them understand, you try to explain. But what I'm guided to share is that allow these souls to choose with their own free will is what I'm guided to share by source at this time. Because on a bigger scale, you're here on a bigger purpose, and you're on a soul mission. So you have to stay focused is what I'm going to share for this specific group, okay? So you already know what these terms mean, okay? So right now, it's not our job to over-explain things. It's not our job to try to convince someone or to prove to someone that this is right, this is better for you, that's not good. Because in their perception, they're always choosing what's best for them. You see what I mean? Even though it may not turn out to be the best, it's just their perception that it's not the best. But everything is neutral once again. So we're always in the right place at the right time in that sense. So we need to help them just be and allow them to choose for themselves. So yesterday I just stepped outside of the house to go on a walk in nature, and then as I was taking a walk, suddenly I started to see the color of my root chakra that was in platinum. So immediately I got the information, and I was like in that moment of what the what the F, kind of, because it's very sudden, like these informations are usually very unexpected. So the more unexpected, the better it is, because I'm not thinking on it, I'm not seeking on it. So, it's more clear, it's more like I just know where it's coming from. And so I was guided to share this message about what's taking place in our root chakra right now in relation to all the things that I've been sharing in my previous videos, which I'm going to share the links in the description box for those of you who may be pulled to watch them. So I was talking about, us being the heaven on earth, embodying that energy. And then I talked about the root chakra and the sacral that's getting really like solidifying. And then as the upper chakras are being activated more and more with higher light codes and healing codes that are coming down, with new portals that just opened and that are opening up. We need to ground our energy more, was the message that I shared recently. And with that, if you are a light worker, all these groups, starseeds, earth angels, new earth leaders, if you resonate with these terms, and you perhaps may have been seeing number 69 quite a bit since last month. That could be something that you can in a way resonate, or 369, okay, and a lot of sequential number patterns that are in the collective right now for these particular groups who have already done the work. Is you may have been seeing 1 2 3 4, 2 3 4, 3 4 5, and also the reverse. So 12 21, all this what else? The numbers that are coming is like the reverse. So if you saw 3 4 5 5 4 3 or something like that, like in reverse, 2 3 4, and specifically number 143, 121, okay. And you may have been seeing 144 after this video is what I'm going to share, and 121. Did I share 121? Yeah, okay. So these these messages, okay. And number 34, 23, 47, like any of these numbers. So I'm just guided to mention these angel numbers right now, because the my spirit team is really guiding me to share this message for this group, so we can prepare ourselves for what's to come next, okay, energetically. So this group, the New Earth Leader groups, the high-level light workers, I would say, that you've done the work and you've been integrating a lot of the energies, and you've been continuously releasing something that were no longer serving you throughout April, March, continuously. So I share about the message from the moon in the latest video, that what we need to release and let new in. And then a couple of days ago, after the full moon, the moon came in again with a message that we are at a nearing point right now. and then stay focused on going in. So even though we got out of the Mercury retrograde, that everyone's saying that, oh, we should feel a little bit better and all this, all that, what I was guided to share was that always tune in with your own intuition rather than what you know on an intellectual level is what I'm guided to share, because you will sense all these energies already. And then just the way we talk about astrology and what it's supposed to mean, and this could just be like an interpretation or analysis that could be quite limiting. But when you use your intuition, it's more expansive, okay? And so do not always go by the book is what I'm guided to share in a way, is because you want to take in account of all this knowledge and what they mean, but also you want to now we are at a point we have to integrate our intuition as well, and not just like look at things from a mind or mental perspective. So that's where the expansion of light is helping us to do or get used to doing. So you may still feel a little bit unstable, or when you were you were waiting for, okay, like I'm waiting for that retrograde to end, waiting for this like difficult time to end or get some clarity, answers. Once again, do not wait, but just live your life in the moment to moment with everything that you do, okay? And constantly remind yourself of that. Also, the analogy that came to me like a psychic vision was like the airplane. So just before landing. So right now we're in that in-between period. Just before ending, we don't really completely feel stable right now. We are not on the ground yet, but we are like shaky. But we know that it's about to land, and we know that we expect that when it's like landed safely. So the safe landing is what's coming to me. So all these groups, especially the Lightworkers, the New Earth Leaders, they're like in that shaky ground. Like this is, I would say, this is happening for everyone in the collective, but on a different level. But what I'm going to share here is that we are going into this turbulence, expecting that we are going to safe land, but you may still like experience the feelings or emotions of fear, anxiety, and that anticipation, or you may be calm despite all this turbulence, right? Because you know that you're gonna land safely, or you can just be like, oh my gosh, oh my God, what if this is triggering you, right? Triggering this turbulent times that you get into like a panic mode or something, you know? So this is different for everyone in the collective. For those of especially the Lightworkers, the New Earth Leaders who are integrated, they may still sense this turbulence, but it's not going to affect them as much. It's not going to trigger them to go into panic or fear. They're going to be more like serene and peaceful and focus on what they're doing. But a lot of people in the collective is like, who, you know, like they feel this turbulence. They're triggered by this energies is what I'm guided to share. So we are just before like landing, meaning we're, you know, usually we have a break. We are given a break after a really intense energy work. So perhaps that feeling more stable may be coming, and that feeling of feeling more stable is coming because of how much you have worked on yourself, meaning you embodied heaven and earth, meaning you are the home within and you kept going within. So when you land, you're going to feel very, very serene. And then what I'm guided to share is that all these people who are integrated, or, integrate doesn't mean like fully integrated or there's no sense of what is perfect and done, like it's continuous work, okay? So that's what I'm also guided to mention. You say integration, that doesn't mean it all ended and it's fully complete. It's just that right now, for this phase or this energy, like for this season, that's what I mean by that, okay? So you have integrated, and then you're going to start to notice people, if you're an energy reader or you're, working with people to heal, doing energy healing or something like that, Reiki healing, you may notice certain people now coming in with the root chakra with platinum color. So it's no longer red, but it's platinum, because those are the ones who have done the work. And what Source had me see was that it's not shining bright yet, okay? We just had that because we've been working on it, and we've been releasing a lot of things and patterns, belief systems in the subconscious. And so now, with this new frequency and light codes and healing codes, that feeling of home and safety and security within, the frequency of the root chakra has leveled up, is what is coming up. So leveled up to get closer to the new earth frequency. So if you see if you can recognize, these colors, if you check all these colors and your energy points, right, just closing your eyes, if you have that ability, psychically you can scan, right? And then this is not something that you can force or you need to force, because on a soul level, everyone's going to choose differently, and it's not your job to, especially I'm guided to say, this is like, this is not going to happen for everyone who considers themselves as light workers or new earth leaders, is what I'm going to share, because energy never lies. So you can use these terms, but it all depends on the frequency, and the universe and Source and Gaia recognize certain souls based on their frequency and vibration. So we can fool other human beings, but we cannot fool the universe or, this ascended masters or, all these archangels, right? So energy just works that way. So you have to be very radically honest with yourself, and knowing and honoring your journey and where you are with who you are at every moment. So if you, for example, you consider yourself this and you want to achieve that platinum color in your root chakra, that's going to even slow your progress further, because you're not honoring your journey, and you need to understand what that means to embody that first, because there's no judgment, right? But you are operating on comparison, that where you are is where you not where you need to be, meaning you are still living in that lack state. So you may be in a certain profession, in a spiritual community, or you may consider yourself with these terms, but that's not how it's going to work. Everything happens naturally and organically. So that's what I'm guided to mention. So if you see that your soul chose to join the new earth, you can take that as a sign, is what I'm guided to mention, because it's separating. But once again, the souls who chose to stay in the old earth for now, they don't see new earth as better because they think that, well, what I have is, I'm happy with what I have. It's there in their mentality and their belief system. And so that's just how it's going to work. Even though it separates completely, they'll be like, I'm good with where I am. just that the people here may recognize certain things more. Okay, so it doesn't affect with their journey. So so then they can still continue to go on with their journey on a conscious level, and they will have to go through certain experiences to, you know, learn certain things and to grow and to evolve in their own timeline, in their own, you know, pace and progress. But just that, which is quite interesting for me to receive this information and share at this time, because I don't know what's going to happen in the future with this energy, how it's going to play out. So in a way it is very interesting, because we don't really feel anything on a physical level, like physical level reality right now. But that's how it's slowly going to move apart. They will exist, but in another dimension. And you may see them through the screen, but you may not be interacting with them no longer. It's like, this is kind of the things that I'm guided to share, and that is what is coming up. So we're at this point that is very, very interesting right now for me as well to experience. And so even though we thought that we are like, oh, a lot of people who's in the astrology, like doing astrology, we just got out of the retrograde and it's supposed to be this and be that. So there are a lot of supposed to be or supposed to that is governing all this, how to read this energy, and that also needs to be shifted with more integration is what I'm going to share. So in March, we were doing a lot of the feminine energy healing with the support of the divine masculine energy behind it. And this month in Aries season, we were doing a lot of divine masculine energy healing with the support of divine feminine energy behind it. So in March, it's a season of Pisces, the water, and April, it is a season of Aries, the fire. So the water and fire element, that's representing the divine feminine and the divine masculine within our energies that we've been working towards since entire month of 2023. We've been doing intense shadow work, intense releasing, integration of the ego, right? Everyone in the collective, everyone, okay? And now like the winter was very intense with a lot of these energies. And we were like integrating this in March and April. This like one cycle, okay? So the water and fire could be very significant for you. The water and fire elements within ourselves, okay? So with that, a lot of the souls have integrated, meaning 69, okay, number 69, the security, the home within. If you've been going within, love within, the divine within, the God within, that I've been sharing these messages. It was all the process that was taking us to this moment now is what I'm guided to share. So for those of you who may want to watch these videos, I'm going to put all the links to these videos in the description box, that you may find something resonating for you that can help you at this time, that I'm really feeling pulled to do so at this time, okay? So if you are watching this, if you are somehow finding this message and still watching and resonating, be drawn to it, and you're like, I don't think I am that yet, or I don't know, like I still like, I don't have that platinum color in my root chakra, or you know, I'm not a light worker, I don't know if I'm one or this or that. If you are having these thoughts, what I'm guided to share is that just focus on yourself, okay? And keep on working on honoring your journey, honoring your season, okay? Honoring your pace, and honoring yourself, because that's where it's going to help you raise your vibration, not comparing yourself which is going to lower your vibration, which is very simple. So you may know this, but on a subconscious level or on a subtle level, you may be triggered as if someone is advancing or you are falling behind, which is all part of the old belief system that we've been conditioned with. Okay, so try not to use a lot of or be aware when you're saying what's supposed to is also what I'm guided to share, because as I was meditating, what came to me was when someone has a lot of supposed to, should nots in their subconscious belief system, they're likely to experience a lot of judgment. And also they're likely to throw out a lot of judgment towards other people. That means they are also harshly judging themselves as well. So they're being very hard on themselves. And we need more kindness, okay? But right now, because we are not used to being kind with ourselves, it's hard for us to be genuinely kind. Not just like plain kind, but genuinely kind, okay, that frequency, okay? So continue to stay or continue to learn to be kind to yourself, okay, is what I'm guided to share. And that just trust the process, trust your journey, go to all these basics, right? And remind yourself where you are is where you need to be always. Because you will look back in hindsight and you will understand why that took place in that time, because everything has a purpose. Everything serves a purpose. That means you also serve a purpose. So there's no need for you to prove, right? Your existence is already a purpose, So, but to understand the depth of these simple sentences, you may have to go deep into your subconscious or yourself to really capture all the little things that's inside these simple words, is what I'm guided to share. That's a level of consciousness or perception right now. So we are not in competition is also what I'm guided to share. You're not in competition with anyone. And I keep mentioning this is because of this is how this world right now is. That's how we've been operating in the shadow, okay? And this is governing everyone, okay? Governing everyone. And that you are to look into the idea of attachment, okay? So that's triggering us to be in competition with other people. So the history of our world kept coming in, and part of it is we will see a lot of the history where European countries were colonizing a lot of these countries like in Southeast Asia, Africa, and all of these places, and also the Cuba came as well as an example. And so we are all, as a human being, would like to live in complete freedom, meaning sovereignty, and in abundance. And right now we are being governed by the idea of money, idea of winning, and all of that. So with that, what the analogy that came was, in the age of shadow, we are like going up, like hiking up the mountain. So when you reach the peak, you are being seen as the winner. Like Mount Everest, I conquered this mountain, and then I'm going to go to the next one to conquer the next mountain. So it was about the idea of conquering something. Okay, it's not about the journey or you're just enjoying it. These concepts, these energies are so prevalent everywhere in the collective that the Gaia wants us to clear, the Lightworkers and all these new earth leaders right now, is because all these concepts are also vibrations. So there, it was honored to be the winner. It was recognized to be the winner, and that we were taught to win. We were taught to hike up, go up and up and up, right? Which created a lot of conflict, because that is part of the experiment with the idea of attachment in the duality consciousness human experience that we came here to do. So as long as it's like this, we want more experience, better experience. That's what I'm going to share. It's like we are constantly identifying ourselves as the experiencer, looking for new experiences, more this experiences, more that experiences. That's also the attachment that we are dealing with, that is in connection with the idea of addictions, right? Whether it's food, whether it's money, whether it's even like spirituality, that's also been manipulated or misguided because of these energies that we were living in. For example, what came was like the idea of meditation, that you are supposed to be in this place, you're supposed to be in this specific position, you're supposed to do step 1, step 2, step 3. It's all systemized, okay? But the whole essence of the meditation is not to systemize, break, which is separation. It's also the yoga as well. Once it went to the West, it started to be commercialized, and now it's more like an exercise, right? How to tone your body, how your body looks a certain way, or how you this, but actually it's about the energy. It's a coming to the union within. That's the meaning of yoga. We're coming together. But the idea of meditation and yoga, because of this energy frequency that we were living in, the widespread, meaning the perception of the people, were not ready to accept this, what this is. So they started to, in a way, do some adjusting, I would say, right, with interpretation and systemizing to spread it and to make money off of this. So it became like a business now rather than being. So it could still help. It's still helping a lot of people, but right now the reason I'm mentioning this, or the intention behind that source is guiding me to mention this with Gaia, is because we need to clear these concepts. That is, we can now we want to see them as the level of frequencies, the energies that are going around, that are affecting everyone in the collective, because it may pull all the souls who are choosing to go to the new earth down constantly. They're pulling, these like dark forces are constantly, someone who wants to speak the truth, they're like, the dark forces are covering up their throat chakra or something like that, as an example that is coming. Or they're trying to move forward and be in alignment, like all this like energies are constantly pulling them back. So in order for us to have more souls choose the new earth as part of our mission as a light worker, we are having to be aware of this energies that are going around and has been anchored as concepts and ideas. And that's why the source and Gaia is constantly guiding me to share these things as part of my role in raising the consciousness for a new earth at this time. So yeah, that's what I'm guided to mention. And that, so all of these energies, you want, when you do like yoga, when you do meditate, you want to focus on the essence. And it's about time that you get in touch with your emotions, get in touch with your physical body, and sense that, and in complete focus and commitment. So it's a full commitment to yourself that one is experiencing, okay, and being more aware. And with that, we are expanding our light, meaning consciousness. And so these needs to be transformed. These energies also need to be transmuted by the light workers, meaning who have integrated, is now being like, people use these terms like New Earth leaders. So I was briefly interrupted with the recording. So I can sense that there's something trying to prevent me from sharing this message out right now. But that means this is a very significant message for me to share for anyone who may resonate with this or who may need this at this time, okay? So that's why we are constantly doing like spiritual protection and all of this. But you don't have to always like do like saging everywhere, because out of fear, you just want to be very in tune and be aware of the energies, and you will just do it intuitively, not because you're afraid of something that is to attack you. Is the difference. It's a discernment, okay? You want to have that energy. It's not because you're scared of something, but you just sense something and then you just take an action towards it, okay? That you may need it. That you don't want to sit in fear, or you're not being triggered by fear. So just like that turbulence, it's to trigger a lot of people in the collective, because a lot of people still live with a lot of shadow, right? Or they're not as aware yet, okay? But we don't want to see them as lower, or they're behind, or something like that. If you're a highly evolved light worker, or you're not going to have that judgment towards other people, and I'm also guided to remind you of that. We're not superior over other people just because we know certain things, or we are in a certain place. Like, we just use this language because that's how we communicate right now, okay? For communication conveniences. But we are just, all equally important. We constantly have to remind ourselves of that, and honor when they make certain decisions where they are, means you don't always have to get involved with them to try to save them or help them, overextend it, but just that you have to recognize and achieve balance or remain balanced, okay? So a lot of these things like yoga and meditation is also has been entangled with the idea of achieving, okay? That meditation has become an achievement. It's like rituals, right? Rituals are compulsion, basically. The habits are compulsion, fixations, right? That's why it's automatic, systemized. But to bring consciousness, to be in a flow state, we always have to be in tuned. So it's a very different way of operating that we are going into and moving into. So that, for example, okay, like in the morning, I sit and I do this and I systemize everything, and then the rest of the day, I'm free because I've done my workout, I've done my yoga, I've done my meditation, I've done my breath work, I can do whatever I want. That's not really what it means, but that's how it is right now for a lot of people, at least in the collective, right? And I have these experiences myself as well, like where I had to, like, it made me feel relieved. Okay, I did this, so I don't have to think about it anymore, like something like that, right? So that's where we were moving into and transforming into. So key is always tuning in, going in. And the message from the moon was that we need to continue to do this. And it's like, oh, the retrograde is over. Okay, I'm just gonna stop going in, reflecting. Like, okay, like I'm done and I'm free to do this and do that because you were waiting for that. Like this is just an example. So we are no longer to live in that. So you want to continue to stay tuned in and flow with different energies, okay? Because everything is trying to serve us at a bigger perspective. The retrogrades and all this like energies that are creating turbulence. And you could see turbulence as like negative. That means like it's something to try to harm you, to make you fear, but also you can have a different perspective. It's shaking you up, so you look in and what needs to be shaken off from your energy so that your energy is cleared. So right now at this time, this is for the general collective, whether you are this or that doesn't matter, or you know this, you know that, doesn't matter. What we are being called to do at this time is to be radically honest with ourselves. Like, it doesn't matter what position you have, what job you have, in whatever industry right now, you just have to be completely honest with your emotions, honest with your intentions, honest with your energies. And that's what's going to help you raise your vibration. Okay? So that's what I'm guided to share. The key is radical honest, self-honesty. Okay? And so that's the energy that's going to be the fifth dimensional energy. It's not about how much we know that we share. It's not about this and that. It's just like in private times, even when no one's watching, how honest are you being with yourself? And that's going to be reflected in your immediate reality, right? Everything, how the energy works. So that's what I'm guided to share at this time, and continue to do this work. And as the energy shifts in and out, we go up and down, up and down. We have a lot of, different astrological changes that are coming, and we may feel a little bit more stable energies as the Venus enters Taurus and we go into the Taurus season. We will have the Mercury retrograde on the 2nd of May in Aquarius, so they may slow things down a little bit, but everything serves a purpose. So right now, what I'm really guided to share is to stay in trust, and everyone in the collective is training ourselves to learn to trust more in one way or another that may be unique to you, because we're all on a unique journey is what I'm guided to share. So learning to trust and go back to trusting is very key right now, is what I'm guided to share. And continue to live in the present moment is what I'm guided to share. So there are times that when you are going to need to take action on, you're going to act on that, but it's how it's going to operate is going to be very different, is what is keep coming up. So as an example, the energy behind the word passion is coming up very strongly for me to share. So right now, also that the energy behind it is attached to a lot of the root and sacral chakra energy of the sexual energy, right? Representing the sexual energy, like lusting, or something of that nature, connected to the root and the sacral. That when we talk about passion, usually that's what's programmed in the subconscious immediately. Or the idea of passion meaning achieving your dream, achieving your goal. So it's always like hiking up, moving up, winning, dominating more and more and more, which is attachment. And so I had to sit with this and meditate the last few days. And this idea of ending the death. We are afraid of dying and death, whether it's physical or symbolic, because of the attachment, because of the experience, the experiment we chose to do on a soul level of the attachment, because this earth is everything is, we are experiencing everything attachments, like to physical things, also with love. It's all like all this attachments and lusting, and also like the idea of marriage right now, like, or in the past, it's also part of something that we needed for survival, right? We needed certain connections, we needed certain things to depend on, which represents codependent energies. So all these are transforming right now. And on a intellectual level, what I'm glad to share is, we have some kind of an idea, especially the highly evolved lightworkers and starseeds, New Earth leaders, however, resonate. You may have certain ideas about the New Earth. You may have read certain things about the New Earth, but that's all intellectual is what I'm going to share by source right now. But as we experience and transform these energies, it's going to be new. That's why it's coming up again. We are like new babies. So that's why we need to be extra kind with ourselves with this new learnings right now is what I'm guided to share. And so the relationship dynamics will be changed, but it's going to be much more like fulfilling on an emotional, mental, like all these different levels, because the energy is shifted. And when two people get together, or friends or communities get together, it's going to be very different dynamic, or the exchange of energies, what I'm guided to share right now for some reason that is coming up. Okay, so with the idea of passion, we were taught to like win, and that's also a form of attachment, a distraction, because we were constantly looking for the experience, more experiences, new experiences, right? And so when that happens, you're in conflict inside yourself, because you're constantly trying to look for more that is in opposition to our nature or essence. And so you are creating, in a way, this turbulence, like that, the analogy that came before landing, feeling safe. You may be the one constantly creating this turbulence that you may perceive as something, the outer forces coming to you to create fear, but actually it's all happening within and inside of you, is what I'm also guided to share, that we constantly identify ourselves as the experiencer. And without the experiencer, there wouldn't be any experience. You see what I mean? And that itself is attachment that we're all having the experience of. So where we are moving into is a state of existence and being, right? Just like yoga is an experience. Meditation is an experience instead of being and existing right now, all these terms, right? Also, the idea of passion is also not the idea, the energy of the passion, or the energy, the pure energy behind passion, is connected to your soul's signature. So what you enjoy, what you feel inspired to do. Like, for example, it came to you perhaps more readily, easily, because you had less common sense, or what we were being taught as common sense is what is coming, or what you're supposed to do, what is better, or these belief systems of separation or comparison that made us to be competitive, constantly attaching to winning. So that is the idea of achievement right now. And so that energy, the pure meaning behind, or the energy behind the passion, is just simply doing what you love to do in that moment, that you best resonate with in that moment, that is connected to you existing. So that's how you feel contentment, and that's how you move forward, by just following these things. But in order for us to do that, we need to learn to tune in, is what I'm guided to share. But because right now the energy behind passion is usually tied to the idea of sexuality that is in lower dense, the lust, or this like, all these energies, right? And then the other one is about achieving. And so what we are learning right now is, sometimes when you hike, we were used to living in survival, meaning living with difficulty, living with struggle, living with challenges, hardships, like problems. Like we were like arduously going up, trying to reach the top. And you see, there are only few sits in the top, right? That's the system, the energy that we were living in survival. That's why we were constantly living in the energy of lack, not enough for everyone. That's why we compete. That's why we go into the energy of jealousy or envy, because on a subconscious level, the basic fundamental belief that we were living under, that from one generation to the next, that all this history passing down was there's not enough for everyone. That's in the subconscious, okay, that we are trying to clear out, right? That there is enough for everyone. But it's hard to believe that. It's hard to trust that because we are so used to living in the other side, the shadow, the darkness, right? And with the expansion of collective light that I shared in the previous video, we are moving into the light like a baby. We now have to get used to living in the light, but we don't know how, right? In a lot of times. And so we are just starting that journey right now. And as we do so, all these energies may feel turbulent, and you may have to go through a lot of inner work to shake off old energies, and that you may also have to experience dealing with other lower or dark energies that perhaps want you to stay with them. Meaning it could be in a form of your own attachment, could be that representation. It's not something outside of you, but sometimes it's what's inside of you as well, because what I'm guided to share is that we are all very powerful. That's how powerful we are. But to recognize your own power is the key, because we don't recognize our own power because of all this enslavement, all this colonization, all this what's better, worse, you're advanced, you're behind, all this you're winning, you're failing. So the idea of failure could really traumatize you. Idea of failure could really hold you back from something, and all these ideas, right? And so we are now, it's like, in a way, what came to me was like, we have to also learn to go down as well, because we've been using all these muscles to go up. So we are very perhaps good at doing this. And those muscles that we needed to go up were highly developed. But now it's about, like, in a way, in a human language way, accepting defeat. How you accept defeat is more the key in life experience rather than winning, because it's always going to be a constant lesson, right? How you accept where you are, how you accept what you have now, right? In an extended meaning. So, like, in a way, we're learning to use and train different muscles as we go down, and we think that going down may be easier, but as you experience hiking, it requires a lot more of your attention and sometimes your awareness to go down, because you exhausted yourself, as well as you may slip, and you may hurt yourself. So you just have to go step by step, and you have to develop new muscles to go down as well. So that is what is coming up. And the idea of going up and down, now, like, we were so used to doing this one way, as you learn to accept the acceptance, everything is just it's just the same in a way, but just our perception has been dividing. That is part of the union within, the unity consciousness, the oneness within, and all these ideas that is coming up, like, at large. So in this video, somehow all this, like, bigger picture ideas are coming for me to share at this time. So continue to work with your moon, lunar cycles, right? The new moon, the full moon, any those major moon cycles, because it's going to really help you go deeper within, using your feminine aspect within yourself to get in touch with your emotions and be true with your emotions, and so you can recognize your own true feelings, not deny, not avoid, all this escape, which is also part of an attachment, because we are attaching to something, meaning we are not completely jumping off, meaning we always look for something to fall onto, meaning certainty. That is the comfort zone in a way. So however this resonates, this is very deeper meaning behind this. So this is just coming up for me to share. So it's like this: you may want something, you may want to have this light, but you may not fully believe it because you're also always constantly on a subconscious level looking for something to fall back onto. But that is the attachment, and that what to fall onto may not be healthy or balanced, but that's what we are used to, like the pattern, the fixation, right? The compulsion that is the byproduct of the attachment. So you may want to sit with these ideas or meditate further. It could be different. It could give different meaning to you or interpretation to you that may help you for your unique journey, is what I'm guided to share. But I'm guided to mention these things right now to help you in some way, to help anyone who's going to resonate with it, okay? So sit with that deeper meaning of attachment, because it's about the idea of loneliness. When we are not attached to something, we experience the loneliness. But when we are completely just being in existence, we don't have these concepts. We are not being governed by these concepts. Also, this idea of attachment, right, is also, we are trying to detach from attachment, is also an attachment in a larger sense, is what is coming up for me to share. Because it was the experience of duality consciousness, attach, detach. So we are trying to detach from something that we are afraid of, that created escape, avoidance, distractions, okay? So we use this word like detachment, or sometimes detaching is better, or something like that, or idea of positivity and negativity. For example, this came up as an example, is that someone is like, oh, I feel this energy, it's funky right now, right? This energy is funky, I don't like this. And today I just woke up with this weird feeling. So what did I do? To make myself feel good, I put on some makeup and I do this and I do that, I feel good. But right now, what the moon was saying, that you're trying to, perhaps on a subconscious level, trying to get out of this feeling funky that you perceive as negative and attach to the idea of positive while you think that you are detaching from negative. So you see what I mean? This is a little bit complex. So instead of you sitting with it, not having this funky, crazy, blah, 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 all these ideas, you're just sitting with this energy, allowing all emotions, allow the energies to flow. You see what I mean? There is a key. Your cure is in the pain. Like this Hippo, what's his name? What this ancient philosopher or healer said. So you're just sitting with this energy, and that's going to help you safe land, meaning go into your root chakra, and that energy is going to be transformed from red to platinum, finding home within, security within. You are the heaven on earth, because now you operate on the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine within. In your heart center, that's the energy that we are moving, at least for now, okay? Because I don't know how it's gonna further evolve. Okay, so instead of you trying to do something like that, you can still put on makeup, you can still do like dress up if you enjoy that. You know, for example, like I do this every day, like even though I don't go out, like this is what I do, because you know, when I was young, I wanted to be a makeup artist, like fashion designer, like stylist and all these things, right? And I realized this is what makes me feel happy, and it's part of my self-expression. But if you just do that from that standpoint, you are freed. But if you are doing it, meaning demanding yourself or forcing yourself to detach forcefully or to get out of something, is also not creating another attachment. Okay, so that's, you see the idea. Okay, so you want to do these things. So right now, the radical honesty is coming very important. It's because you want to constantly be aware of your motivations or intentions behind your own actions as the energy is shifting faster and faster, okay? Because that's what is making up your vibration, your own energy, okay? So you don't want to get hung up on this idea that, oh, we got out of this, we're supposed to feel so much better now, or we are entering into this new season and new energy and this astrological transits or whatever, and that we're supposed to do this and blah, blah, blah. It could cloud you with a lot of the ideas, so it could prevent you from tuning in that may be for you, okay? That could give you some sort of epiphany or an idea or in synchronicity. This usually happens when you're in the present moment, because you're not trying to detach or attach or all these ideas. So you're just flowing, and we're all learning to do this right now, is what I'm going to share. And also, so we are learning a lot of new things right now. So don't be hard on yourself with these concepts and terms. You don't have to like fully understand yet, but if you're drawn to this, always want to tune in, because there's something that could activate you on a soul level, on a subconscious level, okay? So it's all requiring us to develop new muscles, I would say. And, you know, we are having to train, and also, but this is all concepts and like a very high level, I would say, not high level, but like different level of consciousness is how I would describe a different perspective of looking at the things that we used to look at, which is our comfort zone, right? We used to see something as this. Now we are, in a way, the universe is guiding us to see the same thing from a different angle, which can be pretty uncomfortable because it's not how we used to, meaning familiar. And all this concepts of attachment, detachment is because it's to help us to go deeper within, to bring in that unity consciousness, or to transmute this idea right now. So we could still use these words when you're on a day-to-day conversation, but just that we have to be very much aware with the languages that we use is what I'm also guided to share. Okay, the languages you speak, the languages that you share, and the all of this and the energies behind. You want to think about them before you speak something. Is also what I'm guided to share, because we just speak out of automation, that what we are used to, and all the language is frequency. Okay, so what else? So right now, I'm feeling guided to give you some light language or light code transmission. Feels like I want to lock certain energies in that I'm just share these concepts in. And then to try to balance your energy in your chakras is what I'm guided to, what I'm feeling really pulled to do right now. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to help you stay balanced in your root chakra. Okay. So I'm feeling really connected to the Pluto right now somehow. The second chamber of Pluto, that portal is opening up. Okay, that just became available. And so I'm going to anchor that energy down for your further to support your healing with whichever journey that you may be on uniquely. This is just an energy work, okay? So you may feel something, you may not feel something, but if you are open to this, you're going to receive this. But if you doubt it, or if you have any resistance or reaction to this, you may want to consider, you know, discern for yourself, okay? You don't always have to choose this, is what I'm guided to share, okay? So anchor down all these frequencies right now. Huaka yakakau wakakai yakakau wakakau wawawa yakaki yakau wakakai yakakau wawawa yakaka kakakakau kukua kukua kakai yakakau. I want to tune in, balance out the root chakra right now. Kukuku wakakai kakai yakakuku wakakau wakaki yakau kukua kukua yakakau kukua kakau wakakau kukua kikia ukukua kukua kikia kau kukua wakai yakaka. And then the sacral now. Kukua kakai yakakaka kukua kakau wakakai kikia kakau wakakau kukua. And then I'm tuning that with all the upper chakras. Kua kakiki yakakakau kukua. Kukua kiki yakau wakakau wakakukua kaikiki yakakau kukua. Kakakakau kukua kua kakiki yakau wakakau kukua kukua kiki yakaka. First, I'm anchoring that down to heart chakra now. Kukua kakakaka ikikia kakau kaka ikikia. Akukua kukua kakaiya kakakua kakakau kakau kakaiya kakau kakau kakikikia ka. Kukua kakia kakau kaka. Kua kikia kakak. Clearing your crown chakra. Kukuwaka, anchoring this energy. Kukuwaka, clearing your third eye. Kuwaka, kukua, kakau, Kukua, now working on your throat. Kikia kakaka uakaka kikia kaka uakaka uakaka kikia kukua kikia ka uakaka kakaka kaka kawaka kikia kukuaya. Kukua ia kikia kukua ia kakao kukua. Okay, so what I'm experiencing is as if I'm running a treadmill right now. Like I was constantly out of breath while I was doing this energy or receiving this light from Pluto right now. So if you feel or sense something similar, you may want to just breathe in, breathe out, anchoring this energy. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay. So, yeah, I'm a little bit out of breath. So, any last message? Is there any last message, Spirit, Source, Gaia? So anchor down this energy, connect with Gaia, receive the help and support of Gaia, where you go into nature, you just touch a tree, hug a tree, barefoot, standing on the ground. You allow Gaia to transmute your energy field, you know. And so this is also a blessing that we are all given every day, generously from Gaia. So we want to stay in gratitude for everything that we are being provided on earth at this time, that we do not readily recognize or appreciate or notice because it's just part of our everyday life, that we stopped seeing that as something of a blessing or a magic or a miracle or a gift. It is all present with you. It is always with you. Okay? So take a moment to notice those things that we may have forgotten at this time. And as you do so, as you appreciate Gaia, you're also, the energy is the pure love exchange is what I'm feeling and what I'm guided to share. It's a pure exchange of love, of giving and receiving as you send gratitude, you receive gratitude, and that is the pure form of love. And all this idea of love that we may have, we may have been attaching, maybe something different. And that idea of love that is connected to our own existence, being, at larger sense, is also the concept of abundance, is also a concept of love, is what I'm guided to share. That you may want to continue to meditate with these ideas. If it's hard for you to understand or digest at this time, it is okay. Okay? Go at your own pace. And start to simply connect to all that is existing right now that you forgot about, that now you're just starting to notice and feel the appreciation. And with that, your heart space is opening up, and it's also allowing you to embody this higher concept or this new level of consciousness. And you can download this energy that way as well. And that's going to also help you anchor down these frequencies, is what I'm guided to share. Okay, that's why I think it came up. You know, the inhuman language term that we use right now, the attitude of gratitude, in a way, right? You're shifting your mindset, you know. So with that, I'm going to end my video here. And I wish you a beautiful day. And with that, I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.